Hi guys, right, welcome to Monday's Maths. Now, we've got a few things to get our heads around first and to make sure that we understand. We've got a couple of words here which are really important, and I know that you will have come across them before. My class, so 5A, we definitely talked about regular and irregular when we were finding out about area and perimeter earlier on in the year. So let's have a bit of a recap here. So, regular means all the sides and the angles in a shape are equal, so are the same. So all the sides are the same length and all the angles are exactly the same. And irregular is when either the sides or the angles or both are not all the same, are not all equal. Also got another important word here, which is polygon, which means a flat 2D shape with straight sides. Okay, so don't worry too much about that. We often use the word shape instead of polygon, but that's the definition for it, and you'll see that cropping up later on. Right, let's have another look at regular and irregular. Now these orange shapes, we've got a square and we've got a rectangle. Now a square is a regular shape because all the sides are the same length and all the angles are the same, which is 90 degrees. Now the rectangle is very similar to a square. It's got 4 sides and it's got 4 angles. And each of those 4 angles is 90 degrees. So the angles are all the same, but the length of the sides are not all the same. So it's got 2 short sides and 2 long sides. So a rectangle is an irregular shape. Let's have a look at the triangles. So this triangle, we came across this yesterday. This is an equilateral triangle. And all the angles are the same, which is, 60 degrees. And the length of the sides will be the same. This is a different type of triangle. And you can see that the sides are not the same length and the angles are not the same either. Okay, so this makes this shape a regular triangle and this is an irregular triangle. Here we've got a 6-sided shape. So we've got a hexagon. This is a regular hexagon. All the angles are the same. All the lengths of all the sides are the same. This is still a hexagon, but because the angles are not the same and because the sides have got different lengths, it's an irregular hexagon. Okay, so it's not as simple as saying a hexagon is regular or a hexagon is irregular. It depends on the way it's drawn. It depends what it looks like. It depends on its properties, and its properties are things like the number of sides, the length of the sides, all those kind of things. We'll learn more about that later on. Okay. So hopefully that has made the difference between regular and irregular shapes a little bit clearer. Right, let's have a quick recap. Right angles. We should be confident with these now. That's going to come in useful later on with our task as well. Okay, so once we understood the difference between regular and irregular shapes, and once we know what a polygon is, and we've reminded ourselves what a right angle is, the way that you are presenting your learning today is through a Carroll diagram. Now these often look quite simple but a little bit more complicated than they first seem. So I'm going to talk you through this one so that you understand how it works and then you can have a go with yourself with the shape ones. Now Carroll diagrams can be used for lots of different types of data. Could be used for sorting shapes, could be used for sorting something like sea creatures here, which is the one we're going to work through together now. So you've got to ask yourself 2 different questions before you sort each object. For this one, the questions are that it has legs and arms or it doesn't have legs and arms. So you've got to decide for each one, has legs and arms or it doesn't have legs and arms. Once you know that, you then got to ask yourself the question, can it swim or can it not swim? And that will help you to determine which box to put it in. So let's have a look at, let's do one together. Let's have a go with this yellow fish here. So first of all, does it have legs and arms or does it not have legs and arms? It doesn't have legs and arms, it's got fins. So it doesn't have legs and arms, so it's going to be in this column but we don't know which box we're putting it in yet. We don't know which row. So then we have to look at the second question. So if it can swim, it's going to go here. If it can't swim, it's going to go there. Now this fish definitely can swim. So it does not have legs and arms, and it can swim, so it's going to go in that top box there, like that. Okay, and we have to do this for each of the different objects. So let's have a go with the seahorse. Does the seahorse have legs and arms? No, so it's going to be here somewhere. Can it swim? Yes, so it's going to join the fish in there. Okay, let's have a look at the starfish. So does it have legs and arms? Yes, it does. It's got lots of legs, so it's going to go in this column here. Can it swim or can it not swim? It doesn't swim, it's sort of, I guess it kind of shuffles along, doesn't it, a little bit along the sides or along the ground. So it can't swim, so it's going to go into this box here. Okay, now the eel, I guess some kind of moray eel or maybe a sea snake. Does it have legs and arms? No, so it's going to go here. Can it swim? Yes, it's going to go there. The octopus has arms and legs. Yep, it's got 8, so it's definitely going to go in this column. Can it swim or it can't swim? Yes, it can swim, so it's going to go up there. Right, and finally, the crab. Does it have legs and arms? Yes, it does. It scuttles along the sand, so it's going to go somewhere here. Can it swim or it can't swim? Can't swim, it kind of shuffles along, scuttles along on its little legs. So there are all of those objects sorted, and for each one we have answered 2 questions to be able to sort them. So that is a Carroll diagram. What you need to do is you need to have a go at sorting all of these shapes into the Carroll diagram. So for each shape, ask yourself these questions. Is it a regular polygon? So don't forget that's just like a regular shape or an irregular shape. Then has it got at least one right angle? So it's got one or more right angles. And this is no right angles in there. Okay, so those are the 2 questions that you're asking. See if you can sort all of these shapes into the Carroll diagram. These ones are all regular shapes. You can tell by the way that they look that they are regular. Okay, don't forget that not every triangle, not every heptagon will be regular or irregular. It depends on its properties, it depends on what it looks like. Okay, so have a go with those. Try and do all of those and pop them into the right place. You can do it like this. In your answer booklet, you can just type the name of your shapes straight into your answer booklet like that. Okay.